Hey everyone, welcome to Win It Wednesday. Hey, my name is Lisa and I am one of the owners here at Magnolia Design Company, and today I'm going to bring you a fun project. I do not have my apron on. We're going to roll with it. All right, so today, hey Cindy Jarvis. So let me actually pull this up so I can see your comments a little bit better. But today is Wednesday, so while I am finding myself on here so that I can see all of your comments, hey, can you please do me a favor and just share the love, sprinkle us around, and we'll get going. So the question of the day, today is Win It Wednesday, so the question of the day is, what are your upcoming travel plans? I love to travel and do it quite frequently. So, but you know, I come by it honestly because I think my mom was like, in her heart of hearts, she's like a gypsy, but she took us everywhere. We went everywhere. She just piled all us 5 kids in the car and just go. And she loved it. She loved it. Okay, so let me find myself. All right. I'm not seeing it. Okay. Well, there we go. All right. Okay, I am not seeing myself come up live, but so we're gonna roll with it anyway. All right, so today's project is going to be all around a transfer. So the difference at our company, a transfer is actually an image that you transfer onto another product, onto a surface, right? Okay, so we have stencils. So for Win It Wednesday, by the way, this is the stencil you could win. So if you will put in the comments, what are your upcoming travel plans? So this could be like from now through, you know, I don't know, Christmas. When are you traveling next? What are your plans? Okay, and so the winner for Win It Wednesday, and we'll announce the winner tomorrow, so you have plenty of time to share this with other people and so that they can also comment, what are your upcoming travel plans? We will announce the winner tomorrow. But the stencil is Summer Minis 2021. So this was released in 2021. It is not available. And it's kind of cool. It's got a lot of little fun mini projects. They're about 2 inches, so you can put them all on all kinds of things. They go great on cups and hats and cards and little tags to put on things, all kinds of things. But you can use all the elements and sort of put them together too. I loved this little bus, this little, it reminds me of living in Southern California, and they still have a lot of those VW buses roaming around. So question of the day, upcoming travel plans. So let me put that off to the side. And so today we're going to be working with a couple of things. I have got a rectangular beaded frame. And that is this right here. Okay, and you can buy this on our just shop with your favorite creator. Go to magnoliadesignco.com, and if you have a creator, you should already be linked to that person. You can just shop right from them. This is in the surfaces section. It is white with a white background and some wood color beads. All right, and I'm going to make mine a little bit different today. And then I'm going to be using this Take Flight rub-on transfer. So again, difference between the transfer and the stencils. A stencil has the space that you will squeegee the medium through onto something, right? And you can use them over and over again, depending on how you care for them. And a transfer, you can take all or part of this image and transfer it onto another, onto a surface. And today I'm going to be using this surface. All right, so I wanted to go over some of our transfers that we have that are super cool. And, you know, you can mix and match and do whatever you want. We've got this one for Easter. I don't know if you guys have seen this one yet. It is called Easter Song, and I love that. This is an old, these are all our old images from way back in the day. That's called Easter Song. Take Flight is what I'm using today. We've got this one called Once Upon a Time. Really some cool Paris theme. I kind of like old feel frames and a bird cage, and can you see all that stuff? Wonderful butterflies. Hey there. Hey, Abby, Sandy. And then this one is called Paris Antiques. All right, so it's got basically, I took an image from an old receipt from a furniture store, and I overlaid some stamps and some roses on there. And then this one is called Scraps and Roses, and it's got lots of different scraps just from prints and some, and again, this is old stuff, images. And then this one is called Distressed Compilation, and it's got a cool bee down there with some different flowers and different texture looking things. Okay, so we're gonna get going. Again, if you're just hopping on, the transfer, or this is the transfer. The stencil that you could win is this retired Summer Minis 2021. All right, and the question of the day is, what are your upcoming travel plans? Okay, I am going to get started by sort of just stressing this just a little bit. I've got some chalk paint, and I opened up this chalk paint, and it was from Rust-Oleum, and I just beat up that can. So I love peanut butter, and so I had a peanut butter jar, so I put the rest in that. Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing? You'll be traveling to South Carolina to see your son in April. South Carolina, that's so close. Where in South Carolina will you be traveling to, Justine? All right, so I'm just going to take a little bit of white paint and dry brush, basically. So I patted off a lot of that white paint, and I'm going to just dry brush it over these wood stained beads, because although I really like the color, for what I'm going to be doing, it's kind of an old feel, so I want to distress it. You see the difference there? This is the part that I've added some distressing to. And I'm just going to keep going around, and you know, I always start with less. You can add more later, right? But you want to, less is more when you're getting started. And then I'll show you on this side what I've done. All right, so see, and I've just transformed this thing so quickly. It started out looking like this, and then I've just transformed it just like that. So you can change this thing up and really personalize it for yourself to make it, you know, give it the look and feel that you want. All right, and I'm not going to like straight up paint it. I'm just distressing a little bit by putting some color on it. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, it might have been cool with a little bit of blue, like a really pale blue, because of the direction that I'm headed in. Okay, so this is what I've got and what I'm working with. If you turn this over when you get it, on the back, it's got the sawtooth hangers this way, here and here, where other side, here and here, so that you could hang it portrait or landscape, up to you. Today we're going to be working with the portrait, because I'm going to try to get the maximum space out of this. Hello from New Hampshire. Hello from Austin, Texas. Thanks for hopping on and watching us. Don't forget to like, just share the love, sprinkle us around. All right, so I'm going to do something a little bit unusual today, and I'm just going to be honest with y'all. This is my first time trying this particular idea, so just roll with me on it, okay? So I'm going to take this transfer out of its bag, and it comes looking just like this. Okay, and this, it has a protective, I'm sorry, I need to turn this off. It has a protective, a carrier sheet on it, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the carrier sheet. This is right here, the white part. I'm going to remove that from the clear part, okay? And then I'm going to be left with this right here. This is the carrier sheet, and we don't need it anymore, but we do need this. What I'm going to do, I think, is I am going to make this butterfly in the middle. I want this girl to pop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and I guess I could have done it on this. I'll put it back on the carrier sheet for a sec. I'm just going to do it just for the butterfly, and I'm going to go in and cut that butterfly out. I'm not going to mess with any of the other image, just the butterfly. I want her to pop up off the page. So, or off my, I want to give it more of like a 3D look. So that's what I'm going with. And in doing this, the good thing is I now got to have a template for what I'm going to do after I'm done with this. Okay, she's got, all right. All right, so you can be really selective, and I'm going to show you when I'm done what I've done, so you can see, a little bit more up close what it looks like when I cut out part of the image. Now you can, if you have a smaller piece that you want to use this on, you can just use part of it, and you can use all the rest on something else. This is some beautiful writing just from an old design. And so don't feel like you have to use the whole thing, right? And we kind of do that with all of our stencils, right? So let me go all around here. Yeah, with our stencils, I mean, I mix and match all day long. I see what you guys do, and you guys do too. Okay, Jan says, I'm retiring on the 31st of this month. My husband and I are going out to California to see the Redwood Forest in May. You are going to enjoy that so much. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Okay, so I'm from originally Southern California, and there are, while I don't really want to live there, there are so many wonderful, beautiful, natural things to see there, and the coast is just absolutely breathtaking. Absolutely. All right, so now I've got my butterfly cut out. All right, I'm going to save her for something else, and I've got all of this. I'm going to go ahead and pop onto my board. Okay, I am going to remove the backer. And now I don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to set it off to the side or throw it on the floor. Okay, and now I'm going to find a good placement on my board for this. Again, I can color outside the lines. I don't have to put it on here exactly as it's appearing. I can do anything I want. Okay, no traveling plans for me, Cindy says. Woohoo. Okay. All right, I'm going to trim this just a little bit so it fits in there exactly how I want it. Again, this is yours. Do what you want with it. All right, and then I am going to, I took off part of the flower, and then I'm going to transfer this right onto my surface, okay? Yeah, I got that. I took the flower right off and put it on my finger. All right, so let me get this guy on here. Okay, you can see it's on here. It has a little... This sheet has a little bit of a sticky back, right? So it'll stay in place while you're working with it. All right, so now I'm just going to lay it all down here and smooth it down. And, oh, I took part of my little butterfly. That's all right. I'm covering that guy up anyway. And we are coming out with some rub-on transfer tools. But for right now, I'm just going to use, you can use the flat edge of any hard surface. I've also used our squeegee, so I'll go ahead and do that with you. This is our angled squeegee. You could use this if you have this available to you. Just anything basically with a hard surface. I'm going to go back to this guy here. Okay, now depending on the surface that you're putting it on, oh, we're shaking a little bit. You've got to make sure that you're applying some good force when you're rubbing it on there. Okay, this is a rub-on transfer, so we rub the image on the transfer onto the surface. All right, so I hope to take my mom to see family in Montana. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Trish. If it ever stops snowing. Ugh, yeah. I hear you there. I don't know. I'm not one who likes to travel in the snow, that's for sure. I don't even like this. I don't even like to live in the snow, so. Sometimes I live in North Carolina, and that's where our warehouse is too. And I'm doing this so you guys can see, and I won't shake the screen. But that's where our warehouse is too. And sometimes, like every now and then, maybe like a few days, maybe a few days a year, it snows, and not a good day for me. Not a happy camper. I don't care for the snow. Okay, I'm going to turn this upside down so you can see I am working on this to get this transfer on here. I think what I'm going to do with this is I am going to go for sort of like a romantic feel with this. So we're going to do a couple different things to bring different texture to this design, okay? Has anybody used our transfers yet? Going to go visit my son in Boise. How nice. Abby says, my brother and nephew live in North Carolina. Beautiful place to visit. Yeah, so where do they live? Where in North Carolina do they live? We are just south of Charlotte. So when you get a package from us, I think it says it's Indian Trail, but that's where our warehouse is. So if you're ever out this way, look us up. That'd be so cool. All right. I think I've got it going. So now I'm going to start just peeling it back. I'm going to peel the carrier sheet off. Got that poor little butterfly on me. All right. Now, as you pull it up, you want to make sure that your image has transferred onto the surface. If it hasn't, just roll it back in place and keep rubbing until it does, okay? It's just got to be a little patient with the process. And I'll show you what mine looks like in a second. So you just go a little bit at a time. Okay, I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like. So here I'm peeling it back, and you can see that the image is staying on there. However, this right here, I don't know if you can see, is coming up with the carrier sheet. So I'm just going to put it back in place, and I'm going to rub it on there. So it should stick to your surface. I will say, like, the bumpier your surface is, the more difficult it is to get your transfer to stick on. So you just want to be cognizant of that. The smoother the surface, the better. So, like, you know, you can put these on just about anything, any type of surface, up to you. All right. So that's looking good, coming off real nice. I'll just keep going. So if you've already mentioned where your travel plans are, how about you tell me that your favorite place that you've ever traveled to or visited? I'll tell you mine. So when my husband and I used to work overseas, we used to go to, on our way back to where we had to go, we lived back in Iraq, so on our way back, we would stop somewhere in Europe and just kind of like decompress for a few days or a week. And so I'm not sure, like the very first place for me was Prague, and I'm going to tell you, as soon as I got into the city of Prague, downtown area, it looked to me like, oh my gosh, this is what they made, like the Disneyland, you know, the logo at Disneyland, it's got the castle, it looks like that. I mean, just everything is so picturesque and beautiful. It looks like that. All right, so no plans until July 4th. Going to Hickory, North Carolina. Love Hickory. That's not too far from us. Hickory, that's like, are you going there, Karen, to pick up any furniture? Because that's like the furniture area of the Carolinas. It's Hickory. Okay. Okay, so did I get it? Got it. Okay. All right, so I'm growing impatient with this. Sometimes when you pull up too much at one time. All right, so if you guys can see, I'm transferring the image on here. Here's where it's still got the carrier sheet. All right, so let's see if we can work some more, and then I want to show you what I'm going to do with this butterfly. Now, the transfers, like I said, you know, can go on just about any surface. Oh, but you can put it on maybe like glass, and you can put it on I don't know, anything. There we go. A card. You can put it on a card. In fact, we are going to put it on some cardstock in just a second. So I can show you what that looks like. Okay. I just want to peel off a little bit more, and then I'm going to be done with this part just on this side, just in the interest of time. so I don't have to take up your time. I'm going to leave the rest of the design on here so you can see what it looks like, but I will take it off at another time. Okay. All right, let's move on to our butterfly. And I'm going to show you what I wanted to do. So with the butterfly, I have got several different types of cardstock. And I've got some fabric that I want to make a rag bow out of. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this cardstock. But I've also got, so let me grab that one. Has anybody done this before? I saw somebody who did something very similar to it recently. I've also got, you know, this kind of craft paper. It's just adhesive fabric, tissue. Yeah, oh, this one's adhesive. Okay. So, and it's got different colors. You can see that, not really sort of, I guess, the theme I'm looking for. I could pull off one. So maybe we'll have like the underneath the butterfly in one color. We'll do that. All right. And then this one I thought might be interesting too. So this one is got lots of different designs, densities, and here, let's do this one. This one's gorgeous. We will do this. Can you guys see that? It's got a little bit of a pattern and a sheen. So I think we're going to do that. We'll do this one, this bluish one, and then we will also do a piece of this sort of like linen looking one, okay? This is really cool. Really cool. What I'm looking for is I'm looking to create a butterfly with these that I can make 3D. So I'm just going to put them together, and then I'm going to use this little butterfly I cut out, and I am going to trace around it. You don't have to do this. You could, you know, cut around it, whatever. I'm just going to trace around it. And I'm going to trace around and come up with a butterfly shape, and then I'm going to cut them all the same, okay? So I'm just laying all of the pieces all together. All right. See that? All right, so now what I'm going to do is all 3 pieces, I'm just going to cut out that shape. And I'm going to try to get it as close to that line, or at least cut on that line if possible, so that I don't have my pen showing. I mean, you know, it could give it an interesting look, but I'm not interested in going there today. All right. And I'm going to try to decide in a minute here what I want to do with the antennas. But, so if you've used the transfers before, would you tell me which ones you've used? And how are you liking them? And okay, yep. Do you have any travel plans? Yeah, that's the question of the day. All right, so gonna just continue to cut out this butterfly. Round and round. All right, and I think I've got my heat gun warming up. And I'm going to come away with 3. Now, you can use as many as you want. I'm just going with 3. Gosh, I wish I could. I've seen a couple of people do a 3D, and I can't remember right now who they were, so forgive me. All right, so I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to fold them in half. All right, and then I'm going to take the butterfly that I want on top, and that's the one that I'm going to put the rub-on stencil on. Okay, so let's do that. I chose this linen looking one. Let me see if I want that. No, I want the blue one. Yep, I'll take the whiter looking one, and then I'll put my rub-on transfer on that. So again, I'm just going to peel off the white backer sheet. Hello. Oh, you guys, I put it on the other sheet. I'm going to just leave it on here. What I did was I put it on the back side of that other sheet. Darn it. So there we go. I actually have one that's going to stay. All right, so I got my butterfly, kind of accidentally I put him on there. All right, I got my butterfly. I put it, that was a mistake, but I put the backer sheet on wrong. Okay, so now I'm going to fold him in half, and then I'm going to make him pop off the page. All right, so let's check to see how this is going. All right, it is not heating up that quickly. I'll turn this guy on. Okay. While we're waiting on that, so I want you guys to see where I'm going with that. Is that book you're tearing out sheets from Magnolia? I just, no, it's not. It's just some craft paper I've had for eons. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to take this guy who's got a little more texture. I'm going to put the blue, put him on top of the blue. And then I'm going to put the butterfly that's on the regular paper on top of that. It's going to pop up off my my board. So I'm going to put that aside right now. We're going to work on the bow while my other heating gun is warming up. Okay? All right, so I have this beautiful fabric. Look at this wonderful fabric. It's got butterflies on it. And while it's got beautiful butterflies and tons of great color, I'm only going to be using strips for my bow. So there's some stuff, you know, obviously that I'm not going to be getting on there. But let me put this off to the side. All right, but I've got so I cut some strips. And I've got some strips of like cheesecloth as well. Okay, so I'm going to be going for a rag bow, and then I want to make a spray of flowers. Okay, I also thought since this material had some pink in it, or some even a little darker, almost like fuchsia, I'm going to grab some of this embroidery thread. I've got this this gold looking thing. I've got some beads, and then I've got some lace. All right, so I am just gonna, and then I have some pink ribbon. All right, so I think I'm just gonna start grabbing, I'm gonna make a rag bow first and the bow part, and then I will make the streamers that come down, and then we'll put some flowers on there. All right, so let's start with the rag bow. Now, let me set this aside and I'll tell you what I do with my rag bows. So with the rag bow, and for some reason I'm way better at this than I know why I'm better, because they're easier. But I'll just start with, put the fabric, lay it down, and I'll just go over this way and this way and this way and this way, okay? See that? That's really that simple. And I'll do that with a few more items, okay? A few more of the fabrics or ribbons. Okay, so I'm gonna back and forth. And I actually have a bow Dara, whatever. I used it the other day. I loved it. Some people don't have it, so I'm gonna do without it, okay? I'm actually starting to get really used to it, but again, not everybody has one, so I want to do what everybody else can do. All right, so let's do that. I've got that. I think I'm going to throw some pink in there. Let's get some pink lace instead. I'll put some pink lace in there. And what else do we think? I think the bow part doesn't really need the pearls. So we'll just go ahead and go for lace. And this is a wide piece of lace that I have, and I'm just cutting down what I want. Because it's a rag bow, I'm not going to be concerned with the fact that the edges are kind of rough looking, or there's not really a finish. That's okay. I'm absolutely fine with that. So I'm going to go back and forth again on this one. And don't worry, they don't have to be exactly even. You can, it can end in a weird place. Okay, so I'm just going to have that like that. All right, this is what we have so far. All right, and then I think I will put some of this muslin or whatever it is in here. It's not muslin. Oh, actually, this one is muslin. Okay. All right, so I've got that. Now I'm going to put that aside right now, and then I'm going to grab a bunch of long pieces. So I'm going to have this hang off my board. So let's see. I'll get some at different lengths. Well, I'll just put them all together right now, and then I'll decide on the lengths later. So I'm just grabbing a bunch of these pieces, just randomly. I'm going to throw in some of this really cool looking sparkly piece. This was actually on a door separator, you know, those, like, I was going to say, you know, like the hippies had, but back in the day, you know, like a room divider with all the, that's where this came from. So when I look at something, I'm like, what could I use that? What could I use that with? Okay, and I'm going to definitely put some pearls in there because I think that like goes with the whole theme, right? Don't you guys? So let me grab some pearls. All right, these are being stubborn. All right, got some pearls. Does that look good? I feel like we need some more color. Let's go for a piece of like pink, like a dusty rose. It's actually like a dusty rose. Can you see that? It goes with that fabric really well, doesn't it? Okay. All right, and then I'm going to put another piece of this muslin, and I'll put in some of this, I was going to say dental floss, embroidery floss. Okay. And then I guess I'll do one more thing. I guess I'll put some more lace in there. All right, so this one is an variegated embroidery floss, so it goes from one color to the next color, but I just want to get some color in there. That's all I'm looking for, just some pink. Throw a little bit more pink in there, and I think I'm just really going to love this. Okay, let's get some darker. Let's go for the darker, because that really will make that part pop. All right. And then I'm going to put just a little bit, just one more piece of lace in there. All right, let me put this down here, and then I'm going to put them all together, all right? Let me get some lace. Oh. And again, you know, I've got like a scalloped edge, but I could use the middle, which is what I think I'm going to do, which actually makes it turn out looking more like bias tape, but it's fine. I'm just looking for some different texture and color in my bow, or, you know, the ribbon part, the tails. One day I'm going to be like a master bow maker, and you guys are going to be so surprised. I'm going to be so surprised. Okay. All right. So all right, so there we go. I've got the lace. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this bow on top of this, the tails, okay? And then I'm going to tie them together. I'm going to use some of this embroidery floss. You can use whatever. You can use some ribbon. You can use a piece of, you know, rag. You can use whatever you want to use. Oh, it's stuck to my butterflies now. But I always cut it about, look at it, it's stuck to one of my, it's got them right on the edge. Okay, I usually make it as long as the tails, and that way I can pull it down into the tails, okay? So I'm just going to put it in here and tie it up real good. And then we will have ourselves a rag bow, and I'll show it to you in just a second. Super simple, and I just like, it's got like a little bit of a romantic feel to it. And this is what our rag bow looks like. And you could use, you know, you could use either side. Okay, so I'm not going to trim it up right now because I'm kind of enjoying the length. So let me just keep it like this. I'm just going to keep it like this until I actually put it on our board, okay? So let me put this aside. Oh, I had some blue. I'm not going to put any blue in there. You put all this away. The next thing I want to do is put our butterfly on our board. Okay, so I can smell my heat gun has heated up, and I actually had it, unfortunately, I had it unplugged. I had the extension cord plugged, but not the gun to the extension cord. All right, presents a little bit of a problem. All right, so I'm going to just take my my butterfly right here, the textured one, and I just ran a bit of glue down there, and actually I think I wanted this the other way. I think I want the blue on the bottom, so it'll pop off the page a little bit better. And it says that it's linen, but it kind of looks like blue. And there we go, got him on there. And now I will put the final guy on there. All right, and I can just pull the guy in the middle up a little bit more, fold him up a little bit more. I hope this is dry all the way. Probably not. All right, so he's coming up off the page a little bit. Now I've got to fold this guy up a little bit. And then I'll leave this other one like this. Now I'm going to put it on my board. I'm just going to run a piece of glue down the middle of him and put him where I want. And I'm just going to put him where he started out. Let me hold it down a second. And then we'll go to town with our flowers and our rag bow. Okay, you see the way he is popping up off of the page. Can you see that? Darling, thank you. Thank you for that. Now he's popping up off the page. I had thought about running down some, and I might, a bead, excuse me, a row of the little pearl beads. I might do that there, but right now I think I'm happy with what I've got. So I'm going to leave him on there. And now let's decorate the rest of it, okay? So I've got my rag bow, and I would like to put it down here. Okay, do you think that it would be better here in the middle? If you want to vote, so thank you. If you want to, in the middle, let me know, or on the side. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to grab some flowers. All right, so I've got so many different things here to choose from. I've got some like ivory ones. I have some blue to help the blue pop, but they're kind of a weird, I don't know what we're going to do with them yet. I think I'm probably going to dumb those down a little bit or just mute them a little bit. So let me grab some of these. I thought those would be super pretty. Look, they're green and they got a little bit of pink in them. I got those last year and actually just used them to decorate. And I think that they're going to be gorgeous. So, I mean, does that look good so far for a base down at the bottom like that? I'm thinking that's pretty cool. Okay, let me cut these apart just a little bit more so I can play with them and put them exactly where I want them. Anybody else do that? You just keep working at it till you get where you want it. Okay, I'm going to pop these all off, and then I can do what I please with them. Okay, side. Okay, she says the side. All right, so I've got more than enough to work with here. Now I'm going to grab, I've got some other leaves. I'm going to put those to the side. So this was my thought on the blue. You see that blue? It's a little bit too bright for me. So I don't know. See what you think. I was thinking I would just take some white. This is what I do sometimes when I don't have the color that I want. I'm just going to take some white and I'm going to dull it on the edges. Oops, I'm going to paint the flower a little bit because I don't have a dull blue. And it's just too bright for what I'm doing. Does anybody else do this? Top side. Okay, top. All right. I think I'm going to be happy with this blue. you know, just dulled like this. All right, and I will actually show you, let's see, oh, we've got some pink. All right, so now it's a little bit better. It's a little bit lighter for me, and I'm okay with that. I've also got some pink ones, and I'm going to do the same with the pink ones. And then I've got some other different little doodads that I think I'll put on there. Yeah, so I'm going to show you real quick why I do this. And you know, you can get flowers looking like this, but look at the difference between these two. This is the one I just painted, and this is the one not painted. So there is a difference, and I like painted. Yep. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. All right. So, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to paint them just a little bit, and then I'll bring some more stuff in, and we'll put it all together. And then we will have a finished looking project that we can be happy with. All right. So I think those are going to look better with my flower, and I'm just going to open up that flower a little bit. It was more of a bud looking thing. But these were nice flowers. When I picked them up, I wanted this more of an open, not so closed look. So I'm just going to pull those out a little bit. Okay, let me set that to the side. So now I've got this beautiful. Love this. Love these leaves. Okay. Put these leaves on here. Oh, I never did peel off the rest of this thing. You guys will have to forgive me while I do this. Just 1 second. I'm going to cover a lot of this up anyway, so I'm not going to really worry about it. I do want a lot of it to stay, so I'm going to keep just pulling it up till I can get a spot where I can go ahead and... There we go. I'm sorry that everything's shaking. Let me just cut this off right now, and I will get back to this later. I just want you guys to be able to see the project and don't have to watch me do that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to, let me get this out of the way too, because that's going to be also covered up. All right, so I'm going to start gluing my flowers on there and go for some kind of arrangement. We shall see. So I'm going to just put the glue on the back of the stem and start arranging it. It's kind of like, you know, like arranging flowers, like actual flowers in a vase at home. All right, so I think I'll have some going this way as well. That one doesn't want to behave. This one, here we go. I'll just hot glue it where I want it, and then we'll make it behave, right? Hot glue. Gotta love hot glue. Gotta love hot glue. There we go. We'll just tell it who the boss is. All right. Now, I'm first going to put in my big flowers, and I'm going to go in and put some little flowers, okay? So let me start with my big one right here. I'm going to snip off the bottom. Snip off the bottoms of all these. Kind of put them where I can, or where I think they're going to look nice. Yeah, that's going to look cool. All right, and I'll show it to you in just a minute. All right, where'd those blue ones go that I did? You guys, I need some help over here. Okay, I don't know where the blue ones went, so I am going to move on without the blue ones. Darn, I wanted some blue. All right, so I've got these other little things that I wanted to put on here, so I'll put some of those in there, and also grab some other little, like, more of like a spray. Hey guys, Lisa coming back to you. I had the strangest thing. my computer decided in the middle of the live that it was going to reboot. So I'm so sorry. I was so freaked out. My whole computer just went black. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I broke it. I finally broke it. But actually it was just the computer decided it was going to update. So I wanted to come on here because while I did take a picture of my finished project, I don't think that that's going to quite do it justice. I wanted to show you guys, especially those of you guys that were hanging in there with me, I wanted to show you the finished product. So remember we were using the Take Flight Rub-On Transfer, the beaded round, the beaded framed board, and I also did like a 3D kind of thing with the butterfly to make it pop off. I cut the butterfly out to make myself a pattern. Hey, Lynn, thank you for spreading the love, and thanks for hopping back on. My computer just like blanked out. But I wanted to show you guys my finished project. But all right, so I used the beaded board, the rectangle one. I used the Take Flight Rub-On Stencil, and then I made the butterfly pop off by cutting the butterfly out, and then I made 3 layers for the butterfly and glued them together, and then glued it on the board. Then I added some, I think when I lost you guys, I was starting to add the flowers and all the greenery, and I had made a rag bow. So I want to show you the finished project. For those of you guys haven't used rag bows, when you're doing stuff like this, especially the antique looking stuff, it just adds a different element. So I want to show you my finished project, and let me you guys tell me what you think about it. So here's my rag bow, and it's got all different kinds of things. It's got some different beautiful fabric in it, and just some string and some different things I found, some beads, some pearl beads, and then I added some flowers and some greenery. And there is my thank you, Lynn, and there is my butterfly that's popping up off of the page. I also went around with a little bit of white paint and distressed the beads a little bit, and then I actually came in just to kind of soften the whole look up. I actually added some white paint to some of the greenery and some of the flowers that I thought were just a little bit too stark. So this is my finished project. I hope that you love it. I think it gives it a nice like romantic feel. Let's put it back here. Isn't that gonna look pretty hanging on the wall? All right, definitely adding different elements to the bow makes it gorgeous. Thank you so much. Yeah, and then I put the flower right in the middle of the bow, you know, the loopy part of the bow. Okay, and I just love these bows because they're so easy for me to make. You just kind of loop it all together and tie a knot, and it's super, super easy. So thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for being patient, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. If you have not already commented, you can comment on this thread or the other thread. Thank you so much. You jumped on a little bit late. Hey, Althea, I'll show you my finished project. My live got cut off, but you can go listen to part of it anyway, right before I started with the flowers. But listen, Win It Wednesday, if you would just comment below, what are your upcoming travel plans? And then you'll have the opportunity to win our stencil. And that is a retired stencil. Thank you, Lisa. It was worth the wait. Thank you, Lynn. The retired stencil is the Summer Minis 2021, and this is what you could win. So yeah, just sprinkle it around, share the love, and we will get somebody mentioned tomorrow as the winner. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and here is the last picture of my project. I hope you guys will try it yourselves. Bye-bye.